So today what I'd like to do is offer a brief overview of the threat nationally and then discuss specific threats here in Oklahoma. When it was indicted in November 2001, the HLF was the largest Islamic charity in America, and it was a Hamas organization. And again, to reiterate, Hamas is a designated terrorist organization. The U.S. Holy Land Foundation case was the result of a 15-year FBI investigation. The implications of this trial are significant. What the evidence demonstrated, both from the trial and other evidence, is that there is an Islamic movement here in the United States. That's their term for it, the Islamic movement. And it's led primarily by the Muslim Brotherhood. And it includes all of the prominent Islamic organizations in the United States. The stated purpose of this Islamic movement is to wage civilization jihad in order to establish an Islamic State. The evidence from HLF reveals the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States conducts weapons and jihadi training here, has its own internal security apparatus to protect it from outside dangers, including federal intelligence and law enforcement agencies, has an operational special section, which is the military wing of the Muslim Brotherhood. In the HLF trial, the Department of Justice entered into evidence Muslim Brotherhood documents which identify the Islamic Society of North America as the nucleus of their movement here. ISNA's bank records reveal ISNA directly funded Hamas and its leaders in violation of federal law, and this is why the U.S. government identifies ISNA as a member of the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood and an unindicted co-conspirator in that case. The HLF evidence also identifies the North American Islamic Trust, or NATE. It operates as a trust for the Muslim Brotherhood and owns many Muslim Brotherhood properties in the United States. NATE's bank records reveal NATE directly funds Hamas and its leaders overseas, and that is why the U.S. government identifies NATE as a member of the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood and an unindicted co-conspirator in the U.S. versus the Holy Land Foundation case. ISNA checks deposited into ISNA NATE accounts for the HLF were often made payable to, quote, the Palestinian Mujahideen, the original name for the Hamas military wing. A declassified FBI document from the Bureau's Indianapolis field office, dated December 15, 1987, related to the investigation of ISNA and NATE, states in part, quote, the North American Islamic Trust, NATE, was organized by leaders of the Muslim Students Association of the United States and Canada, MSA, in 1973 as a parent organization of various Muslim groups in the U.S. and Canada. The leadership of NATE, MSA, and other Muslim groups are interrelated, with many leaders and members of NATE having been identified as supporters of the Islamic Revolution as advocated by the government of Iran. This information has direct relevance to this committee and to this state, since the two of the most influential Islamic organizations in Oklahoma, the Islamic Society of Greater Oklahoma City and the Grand Mosque of Oklahoma, also known as the American Muslim Association, are owned by NATE. I would also note that just in Oklahoma County alone, there are 8 properties owned by the Muslim Brotherhood's bank, NATE. We now know that 2 significantly influential mosques right here in Oklahoma City and in Oklahoma are jihadi mosques. They're operated by terrorists, or as Mr. Goblitz mentioned, suit-wearing jihadis or suit-wearing terrorists. The Islamic Society of Greater Oklahoma City, its name gives it away. It's an Islamic society. It's a subsidiary of ISNA, but IRS 990 identifies ISNA as the parent to the Islamic Society of Greater Oklahoma City. Its imam, Dr. Imad Enchasi, is a Palestinian, and since he leads a Muslim Brotherhood mosque, he is a Palestinian Muslim brother. And if he's a Palestinian Muslim brother, he is a Hamas leader. The most aggressive jihadi organization in Oklahoma is without a doubt Hamas, doing business as CARE.
Mr. Guandolo, the director of CARE Oklahoma is here with us today. Would you consider Adam Sultani a member of Hamas?
Of course. He wouldn't be leading Hamas doing business as CARE if he weren't. And Hamas is a terrorist organization, which means there in the room sits a terrorist.